where you are and how, health-wise, how do you feel right now, maybe even compared to a year ago at this time?
Health-wise, I feel, better, I should say. I feel like I took care of my body a little bit better this offseason. That was the main thing, just those small adjustments from last year to this year and just, work on them and, get better. I lost a lot of body fat, and, I pride myself on that.
Was there a change in diet, change in regimen? What specifically do you think, what can kind of contribute to that?
I would say Kelsey, which is our nutritionist, and so, we worked all season together, and, we came up with a great plan, and it definitely came together, it was worked out for me.
Was it mostly the injury last year that kept you from maybe being in the shape you wanted to be in, or did you just sort of have to learn what it took?
No, for sure, the lingering injury, with my knee, and it sucks, like I want to be out there, I'm going to do as much as I can, I kind of as far as my body goes, and, like I said, I didn't have surgery last year, and, I feel better now.
It was only those 3 games we got to see you start at left tackle, but I know Andrew and Kevin have been really complimentary of what you were able to do over there in that small sample size. Just how would you assess what you did last year, and how ready are you to try to show that that starting job should be yours this year?
My main thing is just to take a challenge on. I kept it as real as possible. AB, I personally don't like playing left tackle like that, but I don't care. Like, I'm athletic. It goes with the nature of the game. I think it works can do it. Right to left. He struggled too, and if he can do it, I know I can. He's athletic enough, he's big enough, just like me.
What has made you like the right side so much, I guess, early on here?
I mean, it's something that you play your whole life. Yeah. I think you can't. It's hard to adapt to something else. I have like a big, strong, right hand punch. My hand is my whole family, my dad, left side, I thought it was more finesse. The game is like, it comes to you a little bit slower, and sometimes faster at times. Just depends.
Dawand, I'm sorry if you answered this already, but how much weight did you lose?
Lost a lot of body fat. I'm kind of the same weight as from. I would say I lost probably 20 pounds last year. So no range or nothing, but for sure lost a lot of body fat.
So why is the move outside of you so difficult? For some guys who can do it flawlessly and others who can't, but I think people kind of assume it's maybe easier just because it's the same position, but it's just
different angles. That's the main thing for me. I'm trying to figure out is just like the way to shave or something, and it just comes to you more naturally. You're right-handed, and it's like doing everything with your left. It's like right in your hand with your left. I feel like I'm gonna start doing that stuff in life. Just start doing everything with my left, and I'm already trying to do that. So I feel like it's working for me.
How did you go about losing that weight, that body fat, and how will that make you a better player?
I'm playing left tackle. Most of left tackles are a little bit more leaner, and I feel like that would help my game. Being lean and be able to get off the ball. I'm not going against Miles all the time on the right side, left side. Miles is so lighter off your feet, and you can block Miles.
Can you learn from blocking Miles once he gets here?
Probably patience. He has a lot of power. I think that's the main thing I'm learning. And his finesse. His finesse at the top of the rush, or just shock and shed you. I think that's where I can really learn a lot. Figure out my hands. I think he'll help me out a lot.
Are you studying certain guys? I remember last year you said something about Ronnie Stanley. Really like him. Are you studying like certain guys?
Yeah, I think I did Trent Brown this offseason. Yeah, I see people that I did Trent Brown this offseason off. He had a real good year when he went to left from left to right, or right to left from Patriots when he was on their team, and I think he did a real good job. And they kind of played similar opponents we did because they're in the NFC, and so I really like that about him. And he went against Miles, and he had something for Miles, and I just take that and try to put him around him.
Well, I know he's not.
You've dealt with the first 2 years of your career. I know the propofol is kind of a freak thing, but changing your body composition, doing all those things, how much of that is kind of inspired by wanting to, I imagine, play all 17 regular season games?
Yeah, that's one of my major goals that I made is just to finish our whole season, and I just want to live up to that.
Dawand, I know Joel's not out there on the field with you guys right now, but I know he's been around in meetings, things like that. How much can you and will you lean on him just to kind of be on that left side and know you're going to play next to him so much?
I lean on him a lot. He's right next to me. No, you good. Nah, I lean on Joe a lot though. He's right next to me. I think he helps me out just because he knows I'm a young guy. I haven't played on that side, and so he kind of like gives me the cheat sheet. I kind of try to figure things out on my own. Which it's football, which you got to.
When you watch guys like Ronnie, Trent, what are you specifically watching? What are you trying to take out?
Just the way they move in space. I think sometimes I struggle with that. Space. They all move well in space. In a past game, their feet is always in sync with each other. Sometimes like I've seen Trent get beat. Trent, he got beat by Miles. He got beat by Michael. But it's very rare. It helps out so much.
What was the recovery like from the broken leg, and when did you basically get back to like being able to like do more and actually participate in stuff like this?
Recovery was hard. That was a big part. I just put my head down. Like I said, I feel like I could have really attacked the years past prior. Did that this year. It definitely is a time to sore. It's stuff I can't control. But took a good approach. The trainers got me right for sure.
Hey, Dawand, you were a basketball player in high school, and a lot of times people say when you cross-train in other sports, it helps you in football or other sports. What work you have to use playing basketball helps you help you develop as a tackle, and you're able to play both sides, and it's flawless, man?
I think that's the main thing, as well as like I said, my footwork. Yes, playing basketball helped a lot. Whether from shuffling, like I said, I can turn this way or shuffle from the right, and it's just like football, you're going to shuffle with defense, and, just can't let the guy get to the basket.
Right.
So that's my main goal. Don't let the guy get to the quarterback, don't let the guy get to the basket.
How's it been like working with Coach Bloomgren and everything?
It's been well, he's came from Bill, and he got some good stuff from
I know Joel said he's been good with developing the young guys, especially already early, and consider you in the like that you're going to take the next step with him?
Hopefully, like I said, we've had 3 in the past 3 years, but hopefully when we get to step in, all that happening for a long time.
Joel also kind of said that Coach Bloomgren, he used a different word, but he called him like a jerk, sort of, and how he thinks like offensive linemen kind of need that. Is that sort of the same style that you kind of appreciate in the coaching room, where they can sort of be tough on you, that sort of tough love type thing?
Sometimes, I check it at the door. I just tell them like, I gotta keep it real. How you want to be coaching, how you don't want to be coaching. I tell them at the beginning, and everybody finds their own landing path. Like Callahan coached me different the way he coached Wyatt. Everybody knows that, and that's just how the coaches are.
Good.
All right, Jay.